Saturday in the company of your family at home, if you're all doing safe as well, if you're all doing well and all safe as well. And well, today we're doing a very Portuguese recipe, but a vegetarian version of it called leeks à Brás, leeks, ALHO francês à Brás. And so this is our main ingredient, the star of the show, these beautiful leeks, all right? So we actually are going to start by cleaning them really well because of the current moments we're living as well. But just to let you know that I've already prepared the ingredients in advance. So here I've already cut some things. I'm going to show you first of all the ingredients, okay? If you're watching this and you're cooking at the same time, you might want to grab like a paper to write down all of the ingredients. So I'm going to start by saying it's going to be 2 big leeks, okay? So 2 leeks, all right? I've already cut one, so to make my job easier. Afterwards, we're going to have 2 garlics. So I've already cut one of the garlics, and I'm going to cut the other with you guys. All right. 1 bay leaf. Nice. 1 chili pepper. I really like my food spicy. It's not really included in the original recipe, but today I'm going to use a little bit of chili pepper. And then 2 onions that we all know how to cut onions, so I'm not really going to do that live. I'm just going to not do that. So 2 big onions, and afterwards a bit of parsley and these beautiful olives that we call azeitona galega, so galega olives, okay, so from Galicia. And of course we cannot forget more chili pepper in case you want to add more, or pepper, and of course our beautiful friend salt, okay. We also need afterwards a bit of little fries. I don't really know how to call this. This is very much a Portuguese, Brazilian thing as well. In Brazil, they also use it a lot. But this is very much a Portuguese thing that you usually find on our supermarkets, already cut and fried. So they're very little crisps, little fries, as you can see. Yeah. But if you cannot find this at home on your supermarket, you can always just boil the potatoes, but not too much, and cut it in very thin slices, okay? Cut it very thinly, and then deep fry it like that, and you can use it like that on this beautiful recipe. Finally, we have 8 eggs here. The original recipe, it's 2 eggs per person, which I believe it's a lot because we're 4 people in this house. So today I'm going to use maybe 7 eggs. We'll see how it goes depending on how the mix goes, okay? So first of all, let's start with washing really well the leek, okay? Afterwards, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the history of this recipe because originally this is not leeks à Brás. Originally it's codfish à Brás, okay? So I will tell you a little bit about the history. Stay tuned. And meanwhile, let's start cutting, and then I'll tell you a little bit about it. So first of all, I'm going to wash it really well with a bit of vinegar. Okay, so whoops, we had an accident. We had a big accident. Sorry guys, you know, I'm not a very, let's say, yet a very adult, so I don't have really a big kitchen. So this is what I can manage with today. But it's still great. So let's cut it from this point here to the other end. Okay, so from the bottom end to the top end, all the way. Because I actually had today, I bought these kind of organic leeks, so you really have to wash them really well. They're really tasty as well. So wash it first with the vinegar because of the contamination, and then afterwards with water, opening up the leaves of the leek, okay? Make sure to wash it well. All right. And then, of course, cutting the end of the roots, okay? That goes to the trash. And let's also open up the garlic that you all, of course, already know. Quite easy to do. So, here we go. I'm also going to take the stem of the chili pepper. And let's start by cutting the leek in very, very thin slices, okay? About 2 millimeters each. So let's cut it like that. So meanwhile, I wanted to tell you a little bit about the story of the recipe. So bacalhau à Brás is already 18th, 19th century recipe, quite of an old recipe in our country. that was always a popular with people that were on vacation in the summer and are feeling a little bit lazy and they don't want to really cook something, big, so they just decide to cook something really quickly. And bacalhau à Brás was always a very famous recipe at my place as well to do whenever we're feeling lazy, but we also want to eat something, yummy with codfish, so it's really, really nice. But recently, in Portuguese restaurants, because the look for it was also getting bigger, we had a vegetarian version of it made. So the first vegetarian version made was ALHO francês, leeks à Brás, in the Portuguese taverns and little restaurants. I just talked to a friend of mine that told me, yeah, when I was a student 10 years ago, I would eat that in a little tavern as well, ALHO francês, the leeks à Brás. So it was always a very common recipe for about 10 years now. So I'm glad that I'm making this for you as well, so you can also make it at home. So meanwhile, the bacalhau à Brás, the codfish à Brás, has that name because in Lisbon, there was a guy, a barkeeper or like a tavern keeper, that invented the name for it, invented the recipe, and he was called Brás. So that's pretty much it, okay? We're not very original in Portugal. If you've been here already, you know that we're very literal. We have a very literal humor. We also always call the things by its name, or we always make very literal jokes. So yeah, basically, he created the recipe, and that's why it's called à Brás. So we're almost done with the leek. Hope you're cutting your own leeks as well, and you're participating today. If you cannot do it now, we're gonna actually stream this. We're streaming this now live, but afterwards we're also gonna put it up on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube. So you can always come back to the recipe and see it once again and learn a bit more about our history. I'm actually starting to cry because of these darn leeks. They're very, very strong. Okay, so we're almost done with this. Meanwhile, I'm actually cooking for 4 people because I live with 4 amazing. Well, I'm the 4th, but I live with 3 other girls, and usually we all cook for each other. So whenever we're cooking, we always cook for the rest of the house. I think it's a cool thing to do. So this is always a nice recipe, once again, to do if you're feeling lazy, and just if you want to cook for a lot of people, it's a very easy recipe to do, and really healthy. You can do it with leeks, but you can also do it with mushrooms, with shrimp. I really love the mushroom one, actually. It's one of my favorites as well. So we're going to cut the garlic. First, you can smash it, and then cut it really thinly, minced it, okay? Mince it really, really thinly. As I told you, I've already cut a bit of the garlic, so a bit is already done. The onions are already done as well. So we're almost ready to start the actual cooking, okay? The cutting is almost finished. So very well. I absolutely love the leeks. They're so beautiful. They really should star on a movie. They're like, really nice. So, meanwhile, I'm going to put this here. Okay. So we're going to start. We're going to head out here to the actual cooker and drizzle a bit of olive oil on your wok, your cooking pan. So I'm just going to turn up the heat. Here's a lighter. Okay, thank you. Very well. Okay, so turn up the heat. Let the olive oil get a bit warm, okay? And just, I'm gonna leave it there. Don't forget to wash your hands as well. It's always important to wash your hands, okay? Very well. Meanwhile, I'm gonna start while the olive oil is heating up. I'm gonna start cutting some eggs. Okay, cutting some eggs, smashing some eggs into the plate. Just to start doing this. I like to be fast when I'm cooking. I like to do several things at the same time, which can also be bad sometimes, but if you can manage that, it's okay. Okay. So I'm gonna start by putting the garlic as well. You can also put the bay leaf now.